I'm done with Florida. I'm leaving. Not leaving Florida. I am on a train. I'm actually on the right line. It's pretty cool. But a lot of people are moving from Florida. And Florida is ranked number 4th in the nation of states that people are moving from. So today I'm going to talk to you about 5 reasons why people might move from Florida. Cool little spot right here to kind of chill out. So it's a quiet spot for making phone calls. That way I don't have to sit and do the video from my chair. Let's talk about some of the reasons why people leave Florida. I mean, not everyone is a sunshine junkie like me. I've been here 30 years and I do love living here, but there are things that sometimes make me think, maybe I wouldn't mind moving. So we're going to talk about them. Let's start with the first one, the weather. Florida's hot. There's no way around it. Most people come here and vacation from January to April, May, and the weather's beautiful. There's no humidity, 70, 75, warm ocean water. It's paradise. Everything you guys see in my videos. But then something happens. June shows up. June, July, August, September, October, even into November. That's hurricane season. It's our rainy season. It's hot, it's humid. Average temperatures are around 90 degrees with 70 to 100% humidity. It pretty much can rain every single day, and the storms can get pretty violent. Not to mention hurricane season, right? We have hurricanes. As a matter of fact, this year they expect 19 storms. They said 9 of them will be hurricanes, and 4 of them they think could be severe. That's not the kind of news we want. So if you've never lived here and been through a hurricane before, it is enough to scare people and get them to turn around and move out. I remember when the hurricanes came through back with Wilma in 2005, a lot of people packed up and left Florida. They just don't want to deal with them. So, you add that to the crazy heat and the humidity, especially if you're older, it can just be brutal for some people. And, if you don't have good air conditioning, then it's not exactly a great place to live. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of moving here when it's perfect, or coming here and they see how beautiful it is, and then they don't think about what summers are like here. Okay, so another reason a lot of people are leaving Florida is because of the cost. So obviously the real estate market has gone bonkers. The real estate prices have gone up 23% from last year at this time, and in Palm Beach County. In the state of Florida, the median price for a home is $348,000, but in Palm Beach County, the median price for a single-family home is $540,000. So you can see why a lot of people are just finding that it's just too expensive to live here. Not to mention that, if you watched my video about a week ago, rents in Florida are going up crazy. Like in Delray Beach, rents went up 40% from a year ago, and in Miami, rents went up 61%. And they went up 32% in Palm Beach County alone. So even just rental prices, they normally go up 2 to 5%. So it's absolutely crazy for the cost of living. Not to mention things like insurance for a home. The average cost for a homeowner's insurance now is around $4,000. So I mean, it's just getting so expensive to live that people don't want to stay in the state of Florida anymore. So we're down at Fort Lauderdale, and there goes the Bright Line on its way down to Miami. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. Bye, Bright Line. All right, So now I've made it over here to the Riverwalk in Fort Lauderdale, and just a short distance from the Brightline train. You can see it's beautiful, all the boats going by. You know, one of the many reasons why people want to come down here and vacation. So that's going to be reason number 3, tourist and tourism. So this one's a double-edged sword because we can't live without them, but sometimes you wish they weren't here. I don't feel that way. I mean, they don't really bother me, but a lot of people just don't like the tourists. So in 2021, Florida had a record year of visitors. We had over 118 million people visit the state of Florida. And with all those tourists come all that traffic, all those lines at the restaurants, the movie theaters, shopping, and of course our beaches. Good luck finding a parking space and a place on the beach if you're not there before 9 a.m. But tourism is what built Florida. I mean, without it, Florida really wouldn't be here. I mean, you know, you have the NASA or Kennedy Space Center up there in Cocoa Beach. You have Disney World, and you have SeaWorld, and you got the Florida Keys, and you got Palm Beach. I mean, that's kind of what keeps the economy running down here. If it wasn't for all those tourists, people wouldn't have a lot of jobs. And for some people, they would rather just move somewhere where there's not tourists coming all the time and it's not as crowded and their city isn't overran. So, you know, if that's how you feel, then I can see why you would leave Florida or you wouldn't want to come here in the first place. Alright, so I've made my way across from the water and now I'm sitting over here in the shade at the Museum of Discovery and Science in Fort Lauderdale. Very cool place, by the way, to come down and check out with your kids. I've been here once a long time ago, but I definitely would like to come back. It's a really neat place. So, and that whole little clock thing is pretty cool. But, so the number 4 reason that people probably move from Florida, and this one, you know, just drives a lot of people insane, is the wildlife and the bug. So Florida is in the tropics, and that brings with it all kinds of interesting creatures, noseums, palmetto bugs, which are flying cockroaches, mosquitoes, you know, underground termites. So lots and lots of bugs, not to mention all the obvious ones, you know, alligators, iguanas, pythons, and you name it. There's just a bunch of different wildlife and bugs in general that really just some people just can't stand and don't want to be around. So, you know, unfortunately, we are in the tropics, and there's nothing we can do about that. And there's a lot of invasive species like the iguanas. They're everywhere. We also have bufo toads. I think they're called cane toads, which are highly venomous to dogs. So you have to watch out for those in your backyard. I have to make sure when I walk my dogs at night on a leash and a flashlight, because there's 2 in my backyard just the other night. So there's just a lot of creatures, and then of course any fresh water could have an alligator in it. And so yeah, Florida's an interesting place, and you know, along with living in the tropics comes some interesting creatures. And for the 5th one, I'm going to combine 2. So it's going to be lack of public transportation, because there really isn't a lot. I mean, yeah, I took the Brightline down here. We just got that a couple years ago. And traffic. So let's talk about lack of public transportation. A lot of you who come here, a lot of people move here obviously from the Northeast, and you have the subway system, and you have, you know, monorails and just all sorts of stuff, or the upper level trains, whatever you call them. I don't know, I'm not from there. But you have public transportation. South Florida, if you don't have a car, you're walking, or you're going to be paying a lot to Uber or taxi or whatever, because even the Brightline, which brought me down here to Fort Lauderdale, then you got to walk from here if you want to go anywhere. Now, if you live in one of these condos nearby, so some of the ones back here behind me, or you work down here, or maybe you do like this guy, ride a bike, electric bike, which we're seeing a lot of those, then yeah, you could do that. But, you know, in Palm Beach County before Brightline, we had Tri-Rail, but Tri-Rail would run along I-95, and it did go all the way from West Palm all the way down to Miami, with stops, and people could take that, but you had to get there, so you had to drive there, or ride your bike there and then put your bike on it. So there's just not a lot of public transportation here in South Florida. And having a car, and with gas prices at $4.60 a gallon on average, it goes back to that whole expense thing. And Florida's like the third most expensive place in the nation for car insurance. So you can add that back to the, the cost of living. So unless you like walking, or riding a bike in the heat, like you see me doing sometimes, you really need a car in South Florida. They just don't have the public transportation that some of your bigger cities do and that a lot of people are used to. So if you're someone on a budget, or you're used to that, you've never drove before, or you don't want to own a car, and you're probably not going to like living in South Florida. And if you came down here expecting there to be transportation, there wasn't. Now, the second part of that is the traffic. The traffic absolutely sucks right now in Florida, especially during season, but it's just getting worse. Driving in South Florida, man, it's like taking your life in your own hands. It's a gamble. I don't know why. I don't know why people are always in a rush. I don't know why people are running red lights. I don't know. People are driving, honestly, people driving like crap. A lot of them. So that's South Florida, and a lot of people say that. So, and for a lot of people, they just don't want to deal with it anymore, and it is a real headache. So traffic's bad, the driving habits are bad. I don't know, maybe it's the heat, maybe everyone's angry. I don't know. I wish everyone would just kind of calm down, slow down a little bit, let someone get in front of you. It isn't going to kill you to give them the courtesy of cutting in front of you to get somewhere. You're not going to be that late, right? Get up earlier. I don't know. Do something, but drive slower, because it's really annoying. Whew, it's warm out. Okay, so there's 5 reasons why people might want to leave Florida. I don't necessarily agree. I've been here 30 years. I think it's a great place to live, but people are leaving. Matter of fact, the number of people who moved here was really high from like 2019 to 2020, and then 2021 to 2022, the numbers decreased quite a bit. So if you've ever lived in Florida and decided that you didn't like it and wanted to leave, be sure to leave a comment down below and let us know. Also, if you want to see more videos about what it's like to live here in South Florida, be sure to click on the links at the end of this video. And as always, when you're in the Palm Beaches or in Broward County, get out, enjoy paradise. Cheers.